This is Dan Zilnick, president of Afara, coming to you from Toronto for this week's 60 Seconds of Sustainability. Hey, I'm halfway through a run, taking a little bit of a break, so sorry that I'm looking like a glazed donut here. Hey, I got a couple calls from clients this week asking me about solar. A couple studies have come out noting that solar is now the cheapest way to make electricity in the world. Should we all be piling into solar? 60 seconds on the clock, starting now. Firstly, it's important to recognize that solar is, in fact, the cheapest way to make electricity in the world right now. Solar and renewable costs have dropped like a rock, and it is very cheap to make electricity from solar, cheaper than coal, cheaper than gas in most places in the world. But we need to distinguish between the cost to produce power and the cost to deliver power. The issue with solar is it can't be delivered all the time because the sun doesn't shine all the time. It doesn't become a baseload power source unless you pair it with batteries. So the cost to deliver solar as a baseload power is actually much higher than the cost of creating solar energy itself. But is that a problem? No, it isn't. Firstly, we see the cost of batteries also dropping like a rock, and eventually solar with battery storage will be cost competitive. But in the interim, there is a good news story here, and that is pairing solar with natural gas seems to be a really winning combination. Not intuitive, but actually taking this hydrocarbon that can be ramped up and ramped down when it's needed, so when the sun is not shining, and pairing it with solar will likely create some very low cost, very low carbon energy. So there's a love story between natural gas and renewables that we're not telling enough, and this combination will be critical to get right in the bridging period through this energy transition that we're in right now. So solar is wonderful. Think about pairing it with natural gas. Not an intuitive bet, but definitely good bedfellows, although strange bedfellows. And for those of you out there are going to complain to me about the CapEx, OpEx question around solar versus coal, nuclear, etc., all I can say is remember who is making energy. It's largely regulated entities. CapEx, OpEx, it all comes back to the cost of megawatt delivered, so they can take on lots of debt at a very low rate. Forget about the CapEx piece when it comes to regulated energy sources like electricity. Okay, I went way over this week, folks. See ya. Bye.